Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. This is a place where we talk about Japan, Japanese language and the Japanese culture. This video is part of the Japanese language learning series, Japanese for Beginners. And today is the 63rd lesson of this series. The topic for today's lesson is the ga particle, difference between wa and ga particles. Friends, if you are yet to subscribe this channel, please do so quickly so that you receive notifications of all the new videos being uploaded these days. The URL of this channel is youtube.com/at Saral Japani. That is SARALJAPANI. For the videos of all the previous 62 lessons posted so far, you may visit the playlist section of this channel and click on the playlist titled Japanese Lessons for Beginners. And on that playlist, you will find all the 62 lessons and also this present 63rd lesson. So let's begin today's lesson 63, the ga particle, difference between wa and ga particles. We have discussed several particles in different lessons of this series, and today's lesson is about yet another particle, that is the ga particle. But before going into that, let's quickly summarize what is a particle in Japanese grammar. Japanese particles are function words used to give context to other words. A particle is a pseudo word which has no meaning but a function in maintaining order in a sentence. So what does that mean actually? Particles connect different parts of a sentence such as nouns, pronouns, verbs, etc. and they make a sentence clearer, but they don't change like verbs or nouns. That is, the particles are always the same, they are constant, they do not change. In Japanese, particles play a very important role in clarifying what someone is talking about and can function like conjunctions and prepositions like in, and, with, from, to, and so on. So in a nutshell, we can say that without particles, the sentence structure will remain incomplete and the rest of the sentence will have no meaning. So although these are very small words, but without particles, there cannot be Japanese sentences. The grammar is incomplete without particles. Friends, this is the summary of all particles of Japanese language, Japanese grammar. The green highlighted ones are those which have already been discussed in this series in various lessons. And in the description of this video, we have given the links to all those lessons where all these particles have been discussed. Today's lesson is all about ga. If you look at the brief description of wa and ga, you will find they appear very similar in meaning. That is, in wa we can see subject or topic marker in general, and for ga we see subject marker with emphasis and also applicable to questions. Although there is similarity, actually there is a lot to talk about the difference between the two. So friends, let's begin the discussion on ga and wa. We had introduced wa in a very early primitive lesson of this series. You may find, as I said, the link to that video in the description of this, and it may be useful for you to once again go through that to set the context. Let's begin with the ga particle now. What is a ga particle? The ga particle is the subject marker of a verb. That is, it tells us who or what performs the action. What does that mean actually? A sentence has a subject, that is a person or a thing, and a predicate which contains the verb. So this is a very basic or fundamental definition of a sentence, that a sentence consists of a subject and a predicate. In Japanese, the person or the thing comes before ga, which performs the action described by that verb. So if we take an example, a very simple example, ame ga furimasu. You might be knowing ame means rain. We have done this in a kanji lesson earlier in this course. So ame is rain and furimasu is is falling. Rain is falling. Ame ga furimasu. Or the meaning is that it is raining basically. In English we would say it is raining, but here if we perform a word by word translation of ame ga furimasu, it means rain is falling. Now, can we say ame wa furimasu? Since we have learnt about the wa particle, do you think we can write ame wa furimasu? Yes, we can. That would also give literally the same meaning. Ame wa furimasu, ame ga furimasu, both are correct. But there is a difference. What's that difference? Ame ga furimasu slightly changes the emphasis of the sentence. In this example, ga emphasizes the subject ame because ga is the subject marker and the subject is ame. So when we say ame ga furimasu, this ga emphasizes the subject, that is rain. And if we say ame wa furimasu, then it's a very generic kind of statement that rain is falling. In general, ga may emphasize subjects, words, or new information. In other words, wa emphasizes already known information, whereas ga emphasizes new information. Now take these examples containing both wa and ga to make the meaning clearer. 今日は雨が降ります。今日は雨が降ります。That is, it is raining today, or today rain is falling. If we do a word by word translation, then this means today rain is falling, or it is raining today. And another example is Ashita wa ame ga furimasu. Ashita wa ame ga furimasu. That is, tomorrow it will rain, or it will rain tomorrow. So what's so special about these two examples? The specialty is that we have both wa and ga. So now how it is decided where wa will be there and where ga will be there. So let's look at these little more closely. In these two sentences, that is kyo wa ame ga furimasu and ashita wa ame ga furimasu, wa marks the topic of the sentence, which are kyo or ashita. Kyo is today, ashita is tomorrow. So this is the topic and not the subject of the sentence. So we can say that va marks the topic of the sentence, whereas ga marks the subject of the sentence. Ame, that is the thing that perform the action or verb of falling, that is furimas. So ame is the subject and kyo is the topic. That's why kyo will be followed by va and ame will be followed by ga. Similarly, in the second one, ashita wa ame ga furimasu, ashita or tomorrow is the topic and ame is the subject. So topic will be followed by wa, subject will be followed by ga. Ashita wa ame ga furimasu. In other words, the above example talks about today or tomorrow, the topic, but the main action of falling being described will be performed by the rain, which is the subject. So now let's take these three sentences. Ashita wa ame ga furimasu, which we just saw. Then ashita wa ame wa furimasu and ashita ga ame ga furimasu. Now the first one is the most appropriate one. The second and the third, although they are grammatically correct, but they are not used. They will not be used. Grammatically, all three are correct though. Thus, it may be generalized that va marks the topic and ga marks the subject in a sentence. Ashita wa ame wa furimasu is also correct in some certain sense. It's a very generic statement. There is no emphasis, but that is correct. But this is not correct because here the topic is followed by ga. If the difference between va and ga is that simple, then why does people, especially the beginners of this language, often get confused between the two? Yes, it's a fact that there is a lot of confusion in the student community between va and ga. The reason behind this confusion is the frequent overlapping of the subject and the topic in a sentence. When the topic and the subject are the same, then it creates a confusion whether to prefer ga over va or va over ga. This means in many sentences the topic and the subject are the same. In such cases, both va and ga are technically correct, although the correct usage makes the language sound more beautiful or soulful. This is a very, very important Venn diagram which clarifies this confusion. So as you can see, this section is the subject in which the person or the thing doing the action where ga particle will be used. This is the same Ashitava Amega Furimas. And in this side, we have the topic, who or what the sentence is talking about, which will be marked by the va particle, the topic marker. And there is a common section in this Venn diagram where subject equals topic. That is, in that sentence, subject and topic are the same. For example, Amega Furimas. If it is simply Amega Furimas, topic is also Ame, subject is also Ame. So there both Va and Ga are valid in those sentence in that sentence. So this is the interpretation or the summary of what we have learned so far about Va and Ga. Hope this is clear. As a thumb rule, Va often replaces Ga, thus turning the subject of a sentence, that is the person doing the action, into the topic, that is what the sentence is talking about. However, there are situations in which ga is preferred. Let's see what are those special situations. The first one is when we use arimas and imas. Arimas and imas both means there is. The difference between the two is that arimas is used for non-living things while imas is for living beings. So this is one example. Nobita wa anisan ga imasu. Nobita wa anisan ga imasu. That means Nobita has an elder brother. Anisan means elder brother and imas means it's a what to say, it's a verb which means there is. So there is an elder brother of Nobita. That means Nobita has an elder brother. Similarly, if we take an Arimas example, Nobita wa hon ga arimasu. Nobita wa hon. Hon means book. Ga arimasu means Nobita has a book. There is a book with Nobita. Nobita has a book. Nobita wa hon ga arimasu. So don't confuse arimas and imas with des. So in an upcoming lesson, we will discuss about the differences between des and imas and arimas. So that will be a totally a different lesson. For now, we should understand here that with imas and arimas, ga is used. Very simple example and very easy to understand. Another situation where ga will be preferred is with adjectives. For example, sushi ga oishi desu. Oishi means delicious. Sushi is delicious. Sushi wa oishi desu. So here with adjective oishi, we will use ga. Sushi wa oishi desu is also grammatically correct. Here we have written that wa is also grammatically correct, but ga emphasizes the test and adds much more feeling and impact to the sentence. So ga is preferred here over wa. Now in lesson 62, that is in the previous lesson, we discussed about dochira, and there we came across the usage of ga. Dochira is used to select one item from a group of items. For example, it can be used to identify the more expensive item from two or more items. So in that case, ga will be used with dochira. That is, dochira ga takai desu ka? Dochira ga takai desu ka means which one is expensive. So here dochira wa takai desu ka will not be used. Dochira ga takai desu ka will be used. Which one among these two is more expensive. So which one is expensive? To give emphasis to the expensive item, the question is asked like which one is expensive. In Japanese it is dochira ga takai desu ka. This ga emphasizes the selection between the two items. In lesson 61, we again came across another usage of ga. So very, very important. So here Honda-san and Shimura-san is having a conversation. Honda-san says, Shokudo mo 3階 desu ka? That is the cafeteria also on the third floor? Shimura-san says, Iie, shokudo wa 2階 desu. It's on the second floor. And then Honda-san says, Sumimasen desu ga, elevator wa doko desu ka? Excuse me, but where is the or which way is the elevator? So here you can see the use of ga here. So it is basically used as but to interconnect two sentences, to join two sentences, and it is used as but. So okay, it's on the second floor, that I understood, but where is the lift to go to that second floor? So this, the meaning here is that it's on the second floor. So he says, excuse me, okay, that's fine, but where is the lift or where is the elevator to go to the second floor? So here this guy is used. So friends, this is about ga, and we have discussed the very, very fundamental concepts related to ga and some of its differences with wa. But believe me, there is much, much, much more to that, which you will come across in due course as we go along in this course. And as we go deeper and deeper, things become more complicated, and there you will find more usages and applications of this ga particle. But to begin with, this is enough so as to keep it simple, otherwise you may get confused, and as a beginner to this language, this is enough. That's all for today, friends. Hope you have understood the content of today's video. Do comment on the video and let us know what you think about it. And this is the summary of the all the 63 lessons that we have done in this course so far. So if you want, you can go back and practice or redo some of these lessons again so that you keep yourself updated. I will see you again in the next video very soon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Arigato gozaimasu. Mata imashou.